Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and today, Marvel Superhero Advanced Role-Playing Game System, we're going to be talking about a little bit something else with Gadgeteering, specifically kit bashing. Now, kit bashing. What is kit bashing? Kit bashing is making something really quick. That's it. The same rules that I've already discussed for all of the different kinds of builds you're going to make, whether it's vehicles, weapons, robots, power suit, whatever it is that you want to make, the exact same rules apply to kit bashing. What changes? Only one thing: the speed. So you're still going to find the effective cost the exact same way with the primary abilities and requisites and all that good stuff. There could still very well be special requirements, okay? There still could be all of these things. The resources feat will still be the same. The reason feat will still be the same, but the time has the option of being changed, specifically minimalized. So let's say you've got some kind of a device that is excellent 20 for the effective rank. Okay, that means you're going to have to make an excellent resources feat to achieve success, an excellent reason feat to see if the thing actually works, and then spend 20 days making it. So if you take kit bashing into effect, what you're basically saying is, okay, I will reduce the amount of time from days to rounds. You know what I'm saying? So let's say you've got 20 days on this thing. I can't do this in 20 days. I got to make sure this is done now. You can get this thing done in approximately 2 minutes, simply by spending 10 karma per point in the effective cost. Okay? Again, the resources and the reason feats do not change. They stay the same. But the time to build gets reduced from, let's say, 20 days. You spend 10 karma points per 20 points. So what is that? 400 karma points. 400 karma points, and then boom, suddenly, am I doing that right? No, I'm making it 20 karma points. If it's 20 days, you spend 200 karma points. You now get this thing done. Instead of 20 days, 20 rounds. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So in just a few minutes, you're done. You're done. That's what kit bashing will do for you. Now, you may say, well, then what's the point? Especially considering the fact, like, what are the negatives? This, I can have it really fast. Why don't I just do this for everything? Well, simple. Your device, first off, your device is only going to work for 1 to 10 rounds, and then it will fail. And oftentimes it will fail spectacularly, meaning you can never use this device again for its intended purposes. To elaborate, let's say you've got a device, like a gun, okay, some kind of a gun. So you're going to have 1 to 10 rounds to use this thing. After that, it's gone. It's done. So one of the things that I would recommend to do for this is, as a judge, consider making it 1 to 10 plus 10 rounds that the device can be used if it's a gun. But on top of that, roll the 10-sider and see how many shots it has. So if it's an energy weapon, like specifically, this is something I would do. If it's an energy weapon, like a laser cannon or whatever, something that's going to project energy, the battery will continue working for 1d10 plus 10 rounds, or this many shots, 1 to 10 shots, whichever one comes first. So there's a chance to hold your fire. There's another chance, no, get them out while you still can, you know? So, but the rules just simply say 1 to 10 rounds. If you just made like some kind of a bullet projectile gun, I would say make it the 1 to 10 bullets, 1 to 10 shots that the thing has, reload, don't reload, whatever. All of a sudden, that's when the trigger mechanism breaks. So the thing could actually work for days, for weeks, for years, if you don't actually use it or use it all. Now, kit bashing applies to anything that you use to change the day. So let's say you've got the Excellent 20 device, that's the effective cost, and you've been working on this thing for 19 days. One more day and you're finished, but the problem is suddenly there's an attack and you need to use the device right now. Instead of waiting until tomorrow to be able to use the thing, you say, okay, here's 10 karma points, I can use it today, right? Yes. But the whole thing is still considered to be kit bashing. You did the whole thing right? But you kit bashed. Even on one single day, you spent 10 karma points to make it one day faster. it's still considered kit bashing, the whole entire thing. So you do it right or don't do it at all, right? So, or correct, I should say. So there is benefit, there's not benefit at the same time. One of the cool things that you get out of kit bashing something, after it finally fails, as long as you can still collect all of the pieces, you can now use this automatically as a special requirement. So let's say you roll up 3 special requirements. Your judge is thinking, oh yeah, man, I'm going to get this and this and this. And you say, yeah, pick your 2 favorite ones, because one of those 3 special requirements, I'm going to use the device that I kit bashed, because now I'm remaking it, I'm doing it the correct amount of time, but I can use this device as the kit bashing part. So you tell me which one gets knocked out. Not bad. Not bad at all. I can think of worse things. Now, why am I so excited over this? You know, it's like, oh boy, you reduce time. The reason is because this is exactly what you would do to make booby traps. Has anybody ever seen The Predator? Yeah, the gears in your head starting to spin a little bit. Check this out. The Dutch, Arnold Schwarzenegger, he took his knife and used some vine and tied it to the end of his spear. Why? Now, instead of just one-handed, now it's a two-handed weapon. It's got some extra reach, right? Instead of doing just 10 points of damage, it'll now do 20 points of damage. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. He just needed that spearhead. So what happens now? Instead of sitting there and saying, okay, well, this thing's going to do 20 points of damage, but only 10 points of, or let's just say 6, actually. 6 points of body, you know what I'm saying, material strength. So the thing is basically going to be an excellent 20 resources kind of thing. But you don't need to use, and you've already got the knife, you know, so you've already got the knife in and of itself. So what else do you need? You need the rope? Okay, do you have a skill that will allow you to make your own rope? You need the stick itself. Can you just go out and forge it? You know what I'm saying? If you've got it available, you don't have to spend the resources on it. You don't have to make a resource feed on it. That's just silly, you know? So natural things, you can avoid that completely. The reason feat, you will still have to do. What's the proper way to get this knife on here and to tie a good, you know, should I make sure I use the hilt and the cross, what the heck, I can't remember what they're called right now, but the top, the cross beams or whatever. Should I wrap it around there also? Is it going to wind up getting cut on the knife itself? You know, what exactly should I do? So this is still going to require a reason feat. The trick is you're going to be able to make it done, make it finished very quickly, and it will have 1 to 10 shots, 1 to 10 stabs that you can use for it. He didn't use that many times anyway, you know. And then what happens? The stick winds up getting broken, you know, something to that effect. You can, and then if he wants to make a proper one or whatever, he's still got the knife available. That didn't break. The stick broke. Or let's say the rope, the vines broke because the predator's hide was too strong. What about if he wanted to make those exploding spearheads, right? So now he's going to make these. Let's say it's got an excellent 20 or a remarkable 30. Let's say a remarkable 30 explosive, okay? He's able to make some gunpowder. He's out in the wilderness. He's like James T. Kirk in that Battle Planet episode. So Dutch, Arnold Schwarzenegger, he's going to go and make this device now, this little explosive. Okay, awesome, dude. Remarkable 30 destruction. Don't worry about the material strength because it's minuscule. You want the thing to be able to rupture. So with that being the case, 30 points, all right? You've got the materials at hand. You can make all that stuff at hand. Maybe use a slightly less reduced cost because you don't have to worry about all this other stuff. You're just worrying about the gunpowder, whatever it is that you want to do. And then you're going to make this device. So the reason feat's going to stay the same. Since most of the artifacts are known and they're readily available, you don't have to pay for the resources. And that's with anything, not just with kit bashing, but specifically that's what I'm talking about here. But on top of that, you now have, I'm holding up 4 fingers, there's only supposed to be 3. You now have the ability to make this thing, and you can't wait 30 days to make this thing because the predator's out there now, and your mud camouflage isn't going to last that long. Okay, so you can now do this thing within, if it's remarkable 30, you can do it within 30 rounds. And then done. So that's going around finding the bird poop and digging up the coal and the sulfur and breaking up some rock salt and all that, mixing it up together just the right batch so that you can make your device, your spearhead. Awesome, dude. That's awesome. And it's only going to take a couple of moments to do it because you're kit bashing. It's an emergency. That's the same thing with set up booby traps. I don't care if it's a tiger trap or whatever, you know? And hey, you can still, let's say, reuse the stick or the casing, the housing, you know. There's all sorts of different things that you can continue to reuse to be able to add it for a special modification, anything like that. Reuse it, don't abuse it, don't lose it, right? Paw Patrol says something like that. So what else can you make? A spike trap, a pitfall. You can make a landmine, a claymore, any old little thing that you want. Just remember, you yourself don't actually have to build it. Just simply describe, I want to build such and such, and I want it to be kit bashed. Boom, you're done. So this is one of the reasons why I say sometimes, you know, think about it. Think about this thing. If you decide to make a claymore on a tripwire, okay, so, you know, face front towards enemy, somebody, you know, walks and accidentally knocks over this little tripwire, the claymore goes off and takes out anybody in that radius. Okay, that little cone there. So here's the deal. What happens from that point on, right? How much does it cost to actually make this thing? If the materials are readily available, you're just going to find like little rocks, you know, like if you're out in the woods, you're going to find a bunch of little pebbles and things like that. Maybe you got like a can of nails, whatever, and you just shove it inside of this device that you make. You could technically even make it out of clay. Why not? But just simply have a very strong, you know, a couple of rocks on the back, so the blast makes sure it gets focused that way, not backwards, not everywhere. So have it focused, and then just reuse the parts that you possibly can for the retrofit of the special requirement. All of these things. I love the idea. Just any kind of little booby trap that you might want to make, any little improvised weapon you might want to make. Like I said, I'm thinking of the Predator big time. You guys, I'm sure, have read plenty of books or watched plenty of movies that have something similar, right? So that is it. This is a short one, but that's literally everything I got for this. All right? So just remember that you can reduce the amount of time. Even if you just get it, if it's something that you're almost finished with, but you decide to just, you know, kit bash a part of it, the whole part is kit bashed, but it should last for approximately 1 to 10 rounds, and you can spend 10 karma per day that is supposed to take and reduce that day to 1 round. So fantastic. That's everything. All right, guys. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.